Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. You're watching Seeing the Unseen with Christopher LaPratt. My name's Kenan, his son, and the producer. Tonight, the title is Change It. And growing up, I learned that the best form of apology is a change in behavior. Specifically, doing away with the behavior that warranted the apology in the first place. We can say we're sorry all day long, but often people can continue with the same behavior, and whether it's intentional or not, it doesn't matter. Getting one's intentions to align with their action is one of many great blessings in life that takes active, continuous, focused practice. I would even say dedication makes that list as well. So that's my thought on the title. Before I turn it over to Christopher, just a quick announcement for everyone who's out there watching. Be sure to say something in the chat so I know you're here. The first time there's no charge for readings. Going forward after that, it's $10 per time, or you can pay $100 and cover the entire month, which I highly recommend since we run 3 shows per week, normally Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday at 6 p.m. Arizona time. Now, thanks for listening to me. Enjoy the show. Here's Christopher.
Hey, happy Wednesday, everybody. Great blessings to you, and I light the incense for you to give joy to others. It doesn't cost anything, but what's important is when you give joy, joy comes back to you. And even when you give joy, be free of the need for them to be able to receive it. Because some people can't receive it. They don't have it. They don't have the doorknobs for joy in their brain. But even then, you being joyful, that comes back to you as joy, because you don't know the impact that you have on people until maybe a month, a year, 10 years down the road. And they remember the kindnesses, they remember the goodnesses, and it does come back to you. So joy to you and joy to others, that's what the incense is for. And actually creating joy. And that's what the show is about tonight. We've got the group card, which is the Achiever card. It's the Man of Worlds. And, well, we can call it really Woman of Worlds, too. Take a look at what you've accomplished in your life. Maybe it's having started a business. Maybe it's having gone to college. Maybe it's having a family. Maybe it's have gone through major hardships. Whatever it is, you got through it. You achieved something, and that's what I wanted to tonight too. Send a blessing to the people in Florida with this major hurricane coming in, to dissipate the energy around that, because that even is an achievement in itself. And send lots of blessings to these people. But these obstacles, these things that come up, happen for a reason. For instance, people are warned to move out, to evacuate. And some people absolutely do not listen. There's nothing you can do. It is their choice. Same with giving joy. You can, and it's being free of allowing the anti-joyful people to affect your joy. This is absolutely, the incense tonight was for lighting your joy where nothing and no one can dampen it. So that's the Achiever card. But it's also about, for all of us on the show tonight, achieving what it is we've set out to do. And a lot of times, it's being able to recognize achieving what we didn't even know or set out to understand that we were even achieving something. And the people that we've affected and the people that we've touched. It's much like, one of my favorite movies is Scrooged or A Christmas Carol, where Ebenezer Scrooge, the ghost of Christmas future comes to him, and he's able to see all the people that he's affected. We're going to be able to do that one day. So trust that, and trust that whatever you put out to the universe, you will achieve. That's what this energy is about tonight. They call it with Saturnian discipline. Saturn is discipline, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What else is it?
It's like reductive qualities, but discipline is a great example.
Yeah, discipline is like Saturn energy. Jupiter is expansiveness. So you're using the energy of Saturn, you're kind of using the energy of Jupiter, or what it symbolizes. Being a worker bee, all of you on the show are major worker bees. And teamwork. So, teamwork does make the dream work. So we've got Teresa, Mason, and Ivani on the show. Marilyn, Abby, Marilyn, and Lana. So, great show tonight. Thank you for being here. Teresa. This is the Tower card. This is the dissipation of structure. When you're working on enlightenment, when you're working on, in fact, Kenning, actually, the original title of the show was Working on It. So you go through these spurts of growth, Teresa, and then you go through this dissipation. So when you reach another level, more stuff falls off, and you think, oh my God, how much stuff do I have left to fall off? Well, if we're alive here still on this earth, we have things that are falling off. We have work to do within ourselves. So the Tower card is about major changes for you. And it's not being attached to outcomes. Because the dissipation creates greater. So, and I know you know examples of dissipation like relationships, careers, all kinds of dissipation. But it always creates something greater. And many times what feels like a loss is actually a gain. That's the Tower card. It's literally clearing the field. It's important to focus on having this land, having this huge field. And yeah, there's an old shack on it, but you've got to tear it down. Well, you're not sad about tearing down the shack. Maybe it was the shack that you were raised in. It has a lot of memories and a lot of emotions around it. No, you have the land. Focus on having the field, okay? And then it's tearing it down and creating something greater. All right, my dear Mason. Good to have you on the show. So Mason, it's never too late to meditate. It's never too early to meditate. You can look up on have your mom help you look up on YouTube the benefit of or like children meditation, child meditation. This is a good time for you to start, even if it's 5 minutes a day. Okay, it's really, really good and important for you. The other thing is being very compassionate toward yourself. Compassion means having a lot of love for yourself and not blaming yourself for anything outside that maybe you perceive as bad or that you did something wrong. Everyone's learning. Everybody does wrong things sometimes or says the wrong things. It's important to understand what that other person is going through and have love for them. And meditation will help you. So just even starting meditating 5 minutes a day, or even start with 1 minute a day, or work up to it. It's really important for you. Okay. Avani. Okay, my dear Avani. Oh, aren't you the Empress? It's absolutely okay to have your needs met. And the Empress is like the Queen. So you've got a wonderful, wonderful future in front of you, Avani. It's really important for you to see colors and shapes. Lots of different colors more. Maybe change up colors in your room. Different shapes. For you to be able to look at. And you've got a lot of protection around you as well. And you'll be doing quite a bit of traveling, like traveling the world. And you have, like Mason, quite a bit of psychic ability. Quite a bit. All right, here we go. Oh, Tiffany's on. Awesome.
Yeah,
and Kat, Jared and Kat. Okay, great. All right, my dear Marilyn Pitts. Marilyn, look up the spirit animal swan. During the day, if you're home, if you're working on your quilt, this is the synergy card, which is to me vibration and music. It has to do with listening to like the solfeggio frequencies, and they sound boring, but they're actual music, like the music that we played before the show. That's a solfeggio frequency. So it's that type of music that you can actually fill the house with, and it will help Larry. It will help Larry with any fight or flight. And you don't even have to tell him what kind of music it is. But there's something really important about playing that music so he hears it. And then you're getting downloads at night. While you're sleeping. So gauge that. If you're waking up often, then clear the room and set your boundaries and go, I know you like to go and travel, but it's like setting the boundaries. And telling your guides, hey, I'm in the physical form right now, I need to sleep. But I primarily get that you're getting downloads. What I mean by that is like ahas, or you're upgrading your frequency. And you don't necessarily have to, you can't really have it makes no logical sense. You just kind of feel it. So just trust it that you're up leveling, and you could just kind of feel it. So you could be a little extra tired in the morning. That's an indication you're kind of like groggy when you're getting downloads. Okay. Oh, great. I'm so glad you have some on CD. That's perfect. Okay, my dear Abby and Marilyn, here we go. So Abby, this is New Beginnings. So let's say you're driving to Phoenix, which you've done. If you look at the entire trip, it can be overwhelming. But if you map it out, drive 8 hours, know where you're going to stay, how long you're going to stay there, get in the car, drive another 8 hours, know where you're going to stay, and enjoy the trip, then if you break the trip down, it's way more enjoyable. Because you do get to your destination. You're thinking about, or you're having an offer come up, and the first thing is, oh gosh, that's too far to drive, or that's way too big, or that's way too much. Rather than think that, break it down in increments. And I can kind of call you to tell you what I mean by that, but I think you understand what I'm saying. And then the journey becomes much more dynamic, but you're looking at it piece by piece rather than the whole big picture, which seems impossible for you. You know, an example would be like, Michael's, you know, the Michael's, the craft store, picking up your wreaths. You go, oh my God, I can't make that many wreaths. Well, you could hire people. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm using that as an example. But this fool child is a new start for you, a new beginning. And a child doesn't go, oh my God, I have to live on this earth till I'm 89. Oh my God, or 90. Oh my God. How am I going to do that? Well, you do it one day at a time. That's okay. But something new is beginning for you. Okay, my dear Marilyn. So Marilyn, my body easily and comfortably synthesizes all that I need and releases, clears, destroys, and uncreates all that I no longer need. My body easily synthesizes all that I actually need, and then I release, clear, destroy, and uncreate everything that is not of me. So, Jack, when I started this show 3 years ago, I used to go down to the studio 3 times a week. And Jack was a sound engineer, and he had his own studio. And Lana, I know you've played, and when you're doing a recording, you can't have outside noises. And you've got to tune those out. Or what's the word? Mute them out or cancel them out. You can cancel them out with other sound. Okay, so I'm doing some work here right now for you, Marilyn, about canceling that energy or sound that is not actually of you, and clearing up that field that is not you, so that you're much more in tune. I like that. That actually came from Spirit. That was like, so you're actually more in tune with your body, with you, with who you are, your higher purpose. All of it actually comes back more into tune. Because I'm an untrained, like I'm not a sound engineer. So Jack would play me some of the people, his artists that he was working with, and they sounded awesome to me. And he goes, really? And I go, yeah. He goes, well, listen to this. And it was after he had edited out these frequencies that didn't fit. And it was like, oh my God, that's amazing. Okay. So this is upping your frequency, all of that. All right, my dear Lanny. And then we got Tiffany, Kat, and Jared. Okay, Lana. So this is kind of like Abby's card, where it's a fool child, where it's a new beginning, but it's different in that you're leaving something behind. So it's like graduation, it's like commencement, like high school graduation. You're leaving high school behind, and then you're moving into a career or a life without high school. And high school is very structured. You know, when you have to be there, how long you have to be there, when your classes are, who your teachers are, who your friends are. It's very structured over a period of years. And then all of a sudden, Nothing. Like, whoa. And I remember that feeling. I mean, I felt liberated, but and excited about moving on in life. So this is taking a period of rest for like 2 weeks. And there's something it's like your body and mind need rest. In order to build this new infrastructure, in order for your brain and body to hold this new energy that's coming in, or these new abilities that are coming in. Okay, my dear Tiffany. So Tiffany, you got 2 cards tonight. The Hanged Man, which is patience. It's waiting it out. It's like you've got things from all 4 directions coming at you. And it can be overwhelming. This is just, again, kind of like Lana's card about taking a rest or distracting the mind. So I'll give you an example, like you're looking for your car keys and you can't find them, and then you think, oh my God, I left dirty dishes in the sink. And you go to wash the dirty dishes, and then all of a sudden you find your car keys. It's like distracting the mind. It's like backing away from the problem or issue, just giving yourself a break, and then you could come back to it, and you know when to come back to it, and you'll know you'll have the answers. That's kind of the Hanged Man, is not pushing it, but in other words, relaxing. Okay? Because you've got this reflection card. As you move into this winter, as you move into the fall and the winter, it's a fantastic time. So this is kind of the theme. Could we pull up everybody on the show? Yeah, it's similar to Marilyn's card, and yeah, Tiffany's the reflection card. Yeah. You're needing time to process. That's the way I want to put it. You're just needing time to process. That's the reflection card. Because again, like Lana, where Lana's getting these downloads, this is happening to everybody on the show. It's happening to Kenan and I, so I know it's happening to you, all of you. You've got to have some downtime to process that as you get these ahas. We don't got to, but highly recommend it. Or if you're tired, then just sleep, just rest. Don't push it. All right, Kat, Jared. So this is the actor card, Cat. Um, at times, it's necessary to play a role, or that's not really the. It's like who you are, Cat, is this great, wonderful, loving mother. That's just one definition of you. You're a kick-ass worker, a business owner. This is freeing up your mind from limiting you having done one thing for so many years. It can train you into thinking that that's all you can do. And then when something new comes along, like the Fool card or the Commencement card, you can think, oh, I don't know if I could do that. Yeah, you can. You could take on any role. You're like Meryl Streep. So this is an encouragement for you. Your guides, your angels are saying, Cat, you've got the actor card. You've got the actor capability. You can take on any role with confidence. And it's going to be fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. And you don't have a lot of need to prepare for it. You're just simply going to fit into it. You've been auditioning for this role your whole life, right? And so it'll be just like a shoe-in for you. All right, dear Jared. Do we have anybody on Facebook?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Jared, reminder, tell very few people about your plans. And I'm going to say this to anybody on the show. If you're making a lot of plans or making some big changes, be very careful who you share that with. It's like too many cooks spoil the stew. It's that kind of a thing. You want to be free of telling a lot of people what you're doing or how you're doing it or how good things are working out for you. Be very, very picky about who you talk to, about what it is that you're doing. Because this negativity can come in from them. It's kind of like a stray dog looks really cute, but they're loaded with fleas and ticks, or they can be. So people may appear all really kind and nice and cute and wonderful people, but energetically they have a lot of fleas and ticks on them. Okay. And anywhere where you have kind of maybe told other people, pull that energy back to yourself. Hey, Jeff. Jeff. So do you remember, Jeff, when you were going through like puberty and you couldn't fit into your clothes because you were growing so fast and you had leg cramps and whatever it was? It's like your body was expanding. Well, that's really kind of what happens sometimes when you're growing spiritually, is you can be even more frustrated or get frustrated more easily, but it's like coming out to leave. it's like they used to call it years ago a spiritual healing crisis. I think Marilyn Maddox, you remember that term, spiritual healing crisis, where better out than in, and that's one of the main things. So be free of thinking you're not making progress, but use those periods of frustration or worry that come up and go, oh, I'm making progress here. Because I used to, Kenan was telling me this story. You mind if I share about the bird?
Yeah, that's fine.
So a few months ago or years ago, he found this dead bird. It was by the office. And he was really upset about it. And then today he found this dead bird and was able to take it lovingly and kind of give it, I don't want to call it the last rites, but saying a prayer over it without it upsetting him. And so that's like an indication of spiritual growth. I'm using that as an example. But that's where not to give up is when you're experiencing these frustrations or these annoyances. That's when you're growing. Okay, we got everybody?
Yep.
Love you all. Have a great rest of your week. And we'll see you Sunday. Good night.